You don't like my leadership skills? Is that
Your
what you're getting
leadership
at?
skills are horrible. If Good were here, you're over there.
It must be nice being perfect and odor-free. You know what? I'm an easy target. Go ahead.
Nothing to do with targets. If you were a target, that would be great because I could shoot at you. Here I have swords and knives.
Speaking of leaders, that's George Armstrong Custer's knife. That was his last line of defense. Hey, fellas, follow me this way. We'll take
Fellas, follow me. I don't think the natives are anywhere around here.
Yeah,
Let's
is
take
a
a
shortcut. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up and this week's What Are the Odds? Your Major League Rugby sports betting show starring WWE legend and Fox Business analyst John Bradshaw Layfield, his gambling guru, the best sports bettor ever, the Philly Godfather, and our gift of rugby, Gift Egbelu of the Gift Time Rugby Network, host of the Grow Rugby Show, and director of the HBCU Rugby Classic. Gentlemen, let's get right to the action here. We had a big weekend in rugby, huge wins for some of us on this panel and huge losses for some of us on this panel. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you 3 seconds to guess who got the wooden spoon this week. If you said Gift Egbelu, you were absolutely 100% correct.
Wow.
Gift, a 1-4 record.
Shenanigans is all I say.
1-4, Gift. 1-4. We tried to warn you. We tried to tell you. You doubled down. You went 6 times a squib. You did all kinds of stuff and the switch bets and the plays and parlay, and you lost almost everything. You got lucky with one win.
Oh, I didn't get lucky. I got it counted on the one that mattered the most.
Okay. Aside from that, the rest of the panel, respectable. John and Godfather went 3-2. Yours truly went 4-1 to even the league lead, the lead total. Leader and John and I are now tied. Godfather breathing down our back, but
now wait a minute. Godfather does that we have a weak advantage on the?
I know he's got 3 games in hand. I was just about to say it. If you want to interrupt,
you're going to take all credit for everything. I got to watch you closely. Is what I got to do.
All right, I'll wind my P's and Q's here and my W's going forward. But let's get to the first match, Inspector Clouseau. The Giltinis. We already talked a little bit about this, but we got to talk about it a little bit more. Going into Austin, and a couple of you were very, very big on Austin. In fact, Gift, you doubled down on this one. You said, not only am I taking the points, but Austin's going to win outright. You were incorrect. John, you went with the state of Texas. Godfather, you and I were the sane ones in this bunch. But, John, you want to defend your pick?
No, I don't. I went with the state of Texas because I am a Texan. And I thought maybe that their aggressiveness and their front line aggression could counter something that it didn't work.
So you're a selective Texan because you didn't pick Houston.
I'm a pocketbook Texan. I bet where I think we win.
Oh, all right. So it's
the Giltinis. They're like LA teams by far head and shoulders the best team in the league, and they proved that this past week against the Austin team.
That's a pretty weaselly way of getting out of that one. Gift, you want to say anything to the people across the nation?
Austin simply got the result of their own gentrification, and they couldn't even lose with more than 20 points, which makes it even worse. So you know what? It's okay. It's okay. LA chose violence, and I'm okay with it because Austin, Utah did a better job than you did. I just wanted to let it be known. Utah did.
Now you're heckling the state of Texas?
I'm heckling Austin. Well, no, you know what? Both of them, because Houston let me down as well, too. So everybody gets violence today.
All right, hold that thought. Godfather, you want to follow that up and maybe add some wisdom?
Well, we've gone Hollywood, Matt, and we're out in L.A. now. We're cheering in the L.A. Giltinis, best team in rugby. I got a movie deal coming up. It's just things are blowing up. I love L.A. You love L.A. We're Hollywood. Those two guys aren't. It's the bottom line.
They're small potatoes. Layfield, anything you get to just salvage some kind of respect?
They said something was blowing up. I was hoping it was you, Matt. That's what I was hoping. You're the worst leader in the history of the world. It took us 2 hours to get on this Zoom call because you didn't send out an email. You were like opposite of Vince Lombardi.
You two are idiots. The Godfather got it right.
Don't suck up the Philly Godfather like you do to the entire city of New York.
There's a lot of stuff that we could find you guilty of.
You are a rat. That's what you are. You are a rat. You ratted me out to Mama Lizard because you are a stooge.
Let's just move on, John. Let's not dwell on the past, you weasel. It's Utah, at NOLA. Who won that one? NOLA won that one, Gift, and you guaranteed that win. So we'll go back to you and get you on a positive play.
Told you, mountain people can't come down to the swamp, man. It's too sticky down here. And having a full crowd at the gold mine, it was inevitable. Also, NOLA doesn't lose back-to-back games, and they don't lose at home. It's a very simple plan.
Sedity, New Orleans.
That's Atlanta. Calm down.
Sorry, I'm still getting up. I'm getting up to speed on these terms. John, you got this one right. You went with Gift and NOLA.
That's right, because Gift and I were two Southern boys who liked the gold mine, and the gold mine got a lot of gold. We was golden is what we was doing. The mountain boys don't come to the swamp. You understand that?
The guys from the thing that blocks things. Yeah, mountains block things. Godfather, you got this one right, but you had common sense. These guys are just like.
The Loch Ness Monster was down in the swamp, and it just ate up those mountain boys. I told you guys last week we're not drinking no Pepsi Cola, no Coca Cola, no Cola champagne, but we are drinking some NOLA, like Layfield likes to say. And it was easy money. I mean, they just destroyed it.
You know what? I drank the Utah juice.
Bourbon Street, beads being thrown off of balconies to women that are willing to undress in public. It's NOLA, the gold mine.
You know what? I don't need to hear about bourbon right now, okay? But it was my lone loss. I thought that the guys from the mountains, the mountain people were going to come down and play as they had been playing. Hey, you can't win them all, right? The sun don't shine on the same dog's ass every day, Layfield. Catfish Hunter. Next one, New England.
No sense to nothing.
Excuse me?
Made no sense to nothing.
Sun don't shine on the same dog's ass every day?
It has nothing to do with this conversation. You just threw out something by Catfish Hunter to try to deflect from the fact that you are so hungover, you probably should check into a Betty Ford clinic right now, and you're not incapable of hosting this show.
Can I get a sponsorship from Betty Ford Clinic?
That'd be interesting. I think
that could be. Don't rule out anything. New England came to New York and lost. I'm the only one that picked New York in this one. You want to call me whatever you want, Gift, but you took the Free Jacks with a bunch of different explanations. There was an abacus involved. There was a cat that you had to throw over your shoulders. So, a lot of stuff going on.
I mean, look, I'm not going to say that there's not foul play that happens in New Jersey. I'm just going to say that New England was looking mighty woozy in play. Like, I got questions, you know, was this really even planes? You know, I know people going out to financial districts and hanging out and chilling with people who are in the organization. So I put my hands back on it. I'm just saying, shenanigans.
John, you were a loser in this one as well.
Shenanigans. Yes or no, did you go to the financial district with the head of Rugby New York? Yes or no?
No, he's not the head of the rugby.
What is he?
He's the general manager.
So you went with the general manager. That's even worse. You're a rat.
How is that?
You are a rat.
Before
Mama Lizard is not going to like you ever again. Mama Lizard loves me and Philly Godfather. She really likes Gift. She does
except when you picked against her son and his team again. And she was at this game, and she said if you were there, she would have slapped your face. Your face. Okay? Whoa. Right in the face. Godfather.
I mean, the Free Jacks were definitely not free money last week. They fell behind. They couldn't come back. Kudos to you for picking New York, but then again, you pick them every week, so it's no big deal.
Broken clock.
It is what it is. I mean, come on, you pick them every. And you know what? I'm shocked that Gift went against his Atlanta team last week. And we'll talk about that a little later.
But, hold on, Godfather. I have real reasons for picking New York. They're a quality team. They're great looking on paper as well. They've started to gel a little bit.
You're a stooge.
And
the information I'm factoring into the line is gold, and you don't share it with us.
Well,
so, what do you want us to do? Like, you know something we don't know, and you act like it's I don't even want to talk.
That's a valid point. I do keep some of my cards close to my chest, but don't hold against me. Next one up, Old Glory. John's third and fifth and fourth home team, favorite team, depending on which game we're talking about. At Houston, Old Glory wins 21-13, John. The state of Texas, you didn't pick your team from Texas, did you?
I did not pick my team from Texas. I picked my neighbor Paul Sheehy's team from D.C. area. That's who I picked because I thought they were going to win the game. It's pouring rain down there, tough game, and they fought like Old Glory does every single week. First wins of back-to-back games they've had all season, but it was a very disciplined, very tough game, and Old Glory plays a lot of close games. They came out on top down in Houston.
Now, what would you say to Sam Houston if he was in front of you right now? What would you say?
Huge statue of Sam Houston on I-45 right outside of the great state.
That's not answering the question. Answer the effing question.
Answer the effing question. Sam Houston led the Texans into San Jacinto and took Santa Ana prisoner in 18.
What would you say to him right now picking against Houston?
Sam Houston loved to gamble, and he bet against the Texas team all the time.
Wow,
he bet against them at the Alamo.
We're witnessing a public figure meltdown right here on What Are the Odds, Godfather. He picks for Texas. He gives this every now and then he just.
1 second. Benny's calling me. Benny, how are you, my friend? I know Layfield pulled a Benny on everybody picking against Houston. All right, no problem. Yeah, that was Benedict Arnold. He just wanted to give me a call that Layfield went against his Houston team. I supported Houston, and definitely the wrong move. Lost the money there. I mean, they're playing. They just can't win a game. I don't know what it is with this team. They have flashes of brilliance, then they can't score. But I wasn't going to pull a Benedict Arnold like someone else.
Two-faced Benny. The next one up, Atlanta at Seattle. Atlanta at Seattle. Not NOLA, Seattle. And Seattle with that big crowd, Starfire Stadium, Atlanta on the road, a big test. Of course, Seattle is going to win. No. And guess who picked them?
Technically, I picked Atlanta to win. I just said that it was going to be within the points.
No, you chose Seattle.
That being said, I'm happy that I got it wrong. I'm happy I got it wrong because I no longer have to even give any more consideration to Seattle. In fact, I've given them more consideration than it was due because I pretty much said the same thing last time. And so it's okay. It's okay. I felt good about this because I got my underestimation of Seattle good, and I also did not have to feel like I died another week supporting Atlanta. So it works all together for me. So in the end, I really did win this. I won.
Inspector Layfield, this is a crime because he is on a show where he is supposed to pick winners and losers in games for those out there risking their rent and mortgages.
The Beast of the East. That's what it is. Second best record right now in Major League Rugby. And they go out to Seattle, and they should have won the game. Atlanta won. You have to pick the 1 week that Atlanta wins big to not support them.
And Godfather told him. He told you had your chance and you blew it.
It's okay. Feelings over facts, baby. Feelings over facts. We only needed 1 month to be able to be off. Look for us in the next coming, all right? We're getting ready for playoffs over here, all right?
Playoffs?
Fucking playoffs?
Playoffs?
Listen, last week I didn't know who gift picked. This week I'm not sure if he even picked Seattle. He got me so confused. Obviously, feelings over facts. I'm just glad I was on Atlanta. I mean, they're just rolling right now. I don't know what those boys are on. I don't know what they're taking, but they're bigger, faster, stronger than everybody right now, and they're a very dangerous team.
How would your customers or your clients feel if you said, I'm glad I lost?
Oh, my God. They put me on forget about it. It crucified me. Forget it.
Gift. You're handling people's livelihoods.
I got them for the future. I'm helping them know that they need to not deal with either of these teams for all my personal reasons.
All the mortgage payments are late. All the credit card statements, all the child support statements are late after last.
It's an easy life. We don't want smooth. We want to make sure the story stays good towards the end.
You're toughening them up. You're toughing people. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's chew on that. Let's let it marinate. Let's run it up the flagpole. But in the meantime, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with predictions that might offset the losses that you've gotten from Gift so far this season. We'll be right back.
Been blind since I was 4, and I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste, and my beer is Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has a taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street. And we are back with John Bradshaw Layfield, the Hall of Fame WWE wrestler, Gift Egbelu, the Yogi Berra of rugby, and the gift to mankind, and also the best damn sports bettor ever in the Philly Godfather. Let's go, guys, to what we got ahead of us. We got some work to do to pick up the slack for Gift, because we are a collective team here. You know, there's no I in team, but there is in win. And we got Toronto in desperate need of a win on the road in New England. Another team desperate for a win. -3, New England with that home team gets the thing, John. Which one of these of your new favorite teams are you picking on this one?
Two teams that are right at 500. This is just a coin flip to me. I have a tough time picking this, so I'm going to go with the home team, and that's New England. It's tough to say because they both play very inconsistent rugby. They look great one week. They don't look so great the next week. You know, could be with the opposition, but both about 500. I'm going with the home team.
Gift?
New England's coming off of another embarrassing. New York just embarrasses people, and they embarrass them all the way down to the bottom. This would be the time where I would say New England gets their nice, strong Celtic pride up and gets, rallies back again. But Toronto has a tendency to actually be really good outside of anywhere that's not Atlanta. That's not true. But they do have a tendency to be pretty good on the road. I'm going to give this one to Toronto because it's going to feel like any other game to them as opposed to home games.
You're picking Toronto with the points, or you're picking Toronto with the points and to maybe win as well?
I'm picking Toronto with the points and the win.
Godfather?
Like Layfield said, this game's a toss-up. I mean, you got a lot of history, a lot of proud teams up there in New England. You had the Celtics, the Patriots, the Red Sox. But this New England team, Free Jacks, they're not one of them. Toronto, combined, I think Toronto plus the points here. I think they're the better team. And they had a week off. I think they're going to be healthy. They're going to be ready to play some good over.
The key component is Tucalet, the Argentinian star at fullback. If he's back, and I think he's going to be back, I'm going with Toronto. But I'm going with Toronto anyway because you can't quantify it, right?
Well, obviously, he's coming back. That's why you're picking Toronto. I mean, you ain't going to buy everybody back. I mean, let's be honest. Come on.
I'm trying to make myself look smart here, Godfather. Don't
You wait till after we pick to make that news announcement.
Right?
Sports entertainment, something you know nothing about. Zero. Okay? When you hang out with the three of us a little bit longer, you'll start to learn a little bit about being on camera and sports entertainment.
I'm not going to hang out with you. I will hang out with Philly Godfather and Gift every day of the week, twice on Sunday, but you will get me stuck down the financial district with a person with a nickname of a reptile. You get stuck down there drunk.
Next game, we've got Houston, John's team, unless he's not picking them, going to San Diego, who we thought they are, Gift.
If they're back in Chula Vista, then I'm going to assume they're going to continue to select violence. And I need you to actually confirm this for me because you tend to have to tell us these things after the pick is selected. So,
no, their home pitches are either going to be Chula Vista or Torero Stadium the rest of the way. Not Seattle. Not Seattle. Not Sediti. Anywhere. Not Sediti, San Diego.
Technically, San Diego, Sediti, LA. But that being said, it still counts to San Diego's advantage to finally pull from the grand lands of the San Diego area. So
grand land of San Diego area. You're taking San Diego and you're laying the 3.
Yes.
Okay. John, you good? Texas, John. Texas, redeem yourself, John. Redeem yourself.
Nope. I'm going to be like Benedict Arnold. I'm moving to London. That's what I'm doing. I'm moving to London.
London, Ontario, folks, where the Toronto Arrows train. That's where he's going, London, Ontario.
Of my fellow Texans, because look, Houston had a chance this past week. I think they're tough. I just don't think they're that good. And I think San Diego's going to win.
I mean, it has to be a very hungry Houston team. What are they, 1-5 in their last 6 games? I mean, they're probably responsible for half of my losses on my resume this year. I mean, you got to go with San Diego here. I would love to take Houston. As a professional sports bettor, this is the type of spot you look to play the dog, but I just can't touch that team. It's a dog with fleas. I just can't touch Houston. Give me San Diego.
I think that rat's got fleas. I hope it does. Fleas on that rat, please. It's not your first rat, is it, John?
Oh, my God.
I'm going to go with San Diego. Peterson is healthy, and we know that Cecil Africa is healthy, and he's not getting crushed anymore because he's the only guy in the lineup. LA on the road in Atlanta, and the spread is -10, which seems a lot, Godfather.
Give me the dog. They're playing some great rugby right now. I love LA. I love the Giltinis, but that's a lot of points. And the point spread's a great equalizer. Give me Atlanta. They're young, they're hungry, they're fast, they're strong, and they're going to give LA a run for the money this week.
A gift, but you know that players get a lot of rest on air travel. And hopefully you're probably thinking that they're going to have a connecting flight so they get more rest and they come relaxed into Atlanta. But I think this might be one of those where you're looking at the calendar. If you're the hierarchy of the Giltinis and you say, okay, him and him are going to stay home on this one.
Sedity New Orleans is very similar to good New Orleans.
Hunker down, everybody.
Being able to actually play at home and use the power of Life University to infuse them with the superpowers needed to just burn through teams. So as this goes, Los Angeles is coming over 3 time zones to be able to come into the hot South in late May. What? A lot of these guys are from Australia. You're trying to deal with the perfect LA weather. Nah, man. Atlanta's going to be the first.
We just lost John Layfield, ladies and gentlemen. John just went to watch some paint dry.
First real win against LA because New York was a flub. And the points for Atlanta.
John, what do we got there?
This is a didgeridoo. It is an ancient musical instrument from Australia. From Australia. You want to talk about the Outback mate? That's not a knife. That's a knife. You think you can say that Aussie? I'll be worried about the heat and in hot Atlanta? Are you kidding me? Did you hear me play this musical instrument like freaking Mozart? What this dagger is going to be used for is to open a can of ass whooping.
Who's opening that can, John? Atlanta or LA?
The Aussies that live in LA that play in the Coliseum that are traveling 3,000 miles to get good night's rest on the airplane.
The ones that are blocked by that mountain people thing.
The ones that are blocked by that mountain people. The Aussies, the LA Giltinis.
All right, so
10 days rest since their rivalry with the great state of Texas. They are rested, they are ready, plus they got a long flight. And just like Gift says, they get to sleep on these flights. They're going to wake up rested and ready to go, and they will be playing the didgeridoos.
You drown in your sweat in Atlanta in May. This is Southern time now. This is the time. It changes.
Changes, guy. It changes.
That's a dangerous bet, Matt. Taking LA after playing a very solid defensive team. They're going to be a little banged up. LA's going to be a little banged up.
This is a tough one. I'm going with LA. Again, that's a good point. The 10 days rest because of that Wednesday win. Austin going to play the Mountain People. And the road team, Austin, -5. Very interesting game, Gift. You want to talk about your Mountain People?
Yeah, look, I'm hoping gentrified Los Angeles finally gets a chance to break up for what they did on Wednesday. As much as it is for the Mountain People and you're getting to go and stay at home, I don't believe their defense anymore as much as I believe about as much as I believed in their offense now, but, it's okay.
John?
I go with the Austin team. I think the Austin team's going to go up to the mountains and block them out and win this game.
Godfather?
They got revenge. They lost to them earlier in the season. But I think that altitude might affect them a little bit. I think 5 points is a little too much. Give me Utah plus the 5 points.
I think Sean Pittman's boys and the Warriors come back. Austin might win this one, but I think the points are, again, like you're saying, too much in the point department. So that's where I'm going with that one. And then finally, New York going into John's hometown, fourth hometown, favorite team. And New York, the visitors, -4. And John, since this is your hometown, let's start with Gift.
New York has gotten a chance to be able to get a couple wins off of their belt. You know, they've actually been performing. You know, actually showing a little bit of defense.
Earlier in the program, you were lauding New York, and after bashing them and calling them bipolar every single time and not having any faith in them, and now what are you saying again this time? They got a couple of wins.
Hey, man, look, people can change, and in my belief, that's not in this situation because New York is going to end up going to D.C., and D.C. stays strong at home. Now, I'm going to take the overall win for D.C., but I'm also going to take the points for D.C. because I expect them to actually hold New York down because this streak of luck has gone on long enough.
So it's luck. New York's got luck.
It's luck. Luck.
Okay. All right. John, I just want you to go before Godfather on this one. So go ahead.
What a great game they had in the first game they had. 38-34 up in Jersey. Terrific rugby game. The really disciplined, tough rugby was being played. I expect the same thing now. DC plays really tight, close games. But they played much better at home, and they got a little 2-game winning streak going right now. I've liked Old Glory at home in a very close game.
Godfather, before we get to you, I just want to point something out. He criticizes me for picking New York every week. He picks Old Glory every single week except for once. And he acted like, there was something going on, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there you go. So you want to talk about
– you're getting into politics or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
Politicians every week. Old Glory.
It's Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, John Layfield, Littlefinger. He's got everybody's gossip in his back pocket. But Godfather, what about you on this one?
I think Old Glory plus the points at home dog here. Definitely has a shot. You get 4 points, Matt, on this?
Yeah, -4, according to our crack staff here at Rugby Wrap-Up's point spread developer.
Yeah, I like Layfield's hometown. Give me Old Glory plus the 4.
I'm going to go with New York. Call me crazy, but they're getting Holland's head back. Saveta's out. That's a big blow, but Charlie Hewitt should be back. So he's going to soften that loss of Saveta there in the second row.
Again, information that you didn't give none of us.
Would you like to change your pick?
I'm flipping over. I'm on New York. Forget. I never liked DC anyway.
Oh, we're out of time, so these guys can't change their picks. Sorry, guys. You guys are gonna have to stick to your picks. Only Godfather gets to change his pick on this one. On that note, final thoughts, John.
I am going to be there Sunday for the I-95 matchup between Old Glory and Rugby United New York. Steve the Lizard Lewis, Mama Lizard, probably going to be there. You may be there, but you shouldn't come because Paul Shee, Kristen Lovey, and the entire team and all their fan base down here really despises you.
Didn't you build a career on people disliking you?
That's how I know why they dislike you. I played a character that people hated. You are that person.
Good job. But on that note, I want to thank John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Famer and artifact collector extraordinaire, Mr. Gift Egbelu, the gift to rugby end of mankind, and the best sports gambler and smartest guy I've ever met in my life, the Philly Godfather. I'm Matt McCarthy. Tune in next week. But in the meantime, check out our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, Martial Law, the Zack Attack, and please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.